Hey everybody, Kyle Goeth here from GoatFilmReviews.com and the Goat Film Reviews YouTube channel, and I've got my quick reaction to the new film, The Nun II. This is the ninth installment of the Conjuring universe, sequel to The Nun. I went into this one, with excitement for it because I liked The Nun one, but it's a very simplistic film, a very simple type of scare, a very repetitious kind of scare. But I liked it enough. I enjoyed it. I've watched it quite a few times. It's one of my wife's favorite movies for about to go to bed, which is a compliment. Trust me. So we went and checked this one out. I liked it a little bit more than the first film. I think it has it's more ambitious. It tries a few more things and doesn't do all of them well. I think the Nun 1 is a very, very simple in terms of even just kind of what it's trying to do with its scares, what it's trying to do with its overall tone. This one tries a lot of more unique kind of scares, more visual scares. I think it does a better job with atmosphere. I think it does a better job of further expanding upon the characters from the first film. It doesn't do a whole lot with the new characters, but it expands upon the characters who were in the first movie, at least. My biggest problem with the movie is that it kind of feels like it ends exactly where it began. Nothing's really changed in the narrative. And the problem is that you can't really, because where the first Nun film ends is kind of where it picks up with The Conjuring. So the second film kind of opens up upon that, but I don't think that enough is really done with any of the characters involved where the film feels like it's actually getting to an interesting place by the end of it. There's some good stuff in there, but overall it's a movie that's a little bit too long, and I don't know that it really hits all the sparks that it needs to. Again, I liked it more than the first Nun film, but it's probably in that lower half of the Conjuring universe. Nowhere as good as the Conjuring films or the better of the Annabelle films, but it's in the lower half, I guess. So do with that information what you will, but I liked it, but I didn't love it. It's kind of like a moderate recommendation on my part. Michael Chaves returns to direct. This time, this is his third Conjuring film. He directed Curse of La Llorona, which is a Conjuring film, let's be honest. And then he also did the third Conjuring film that was done with the day and date HBO Max release. Again, it's not as good as his Conjuring sequel was, but it's not as rough around the edges as his Curse of La Llorona was. So you might say he's kind of finding this as a stride. I think he's done consistently better work with his short films, and we're kind of finding with his features that he's just kind of unable to rein them in and really put together a finished product. So that's kind of a flaw and a frustration on my part. Again, I think the atmosphere is better. I think the ambition is better, and I think the overall tone, the film felt more like a religious horror story, whereas the Nun 1 kind of felt like we're going to have loud and similar scares constantly throughout the film. This one felt tonally in line with trying to be like The Exorcist, trying to be like Rosemary's Baby. Doesn't succeed at becoming as close to those classic films, but I like that there's kind of that visual text, that visual flavor that's on the screen there, that I think you can see the inspiration for that, and I do appreciate that more. So let me know your thoughts on the Nun 2 down in the comments section below, and give me a ranking of the Conjuring universe films that you've seen down there as well. I'd love to talk to you more about that. Thank you for joining me for this review. You can find all of my film reviews over at GoatFilmReviews.com. You can find Goat Film Reviews on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd, as well as Threads at Almighty Goat Man. And you can check out my other show, Kyle and Nick on Film, that I co-host with Nick Polachuk from the St. Paul Filmcast,